Obtaining the VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional certification is essential in the highly competitive IT industry. Successfully passing the 2V0-71.23 exam not only validates your technical skills but also distinguishes you from numerous other candidates. Preparing for the 2V0-71.23 exam can be challenging, especially with a busy schedule. In such cases, you can rely on up-to-date and authentic 2V0-71.23 exam questions from QuestionsTube. Recognizing the significant importance of excelling in the VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional 2V0-71.23 exam, QuestionsTube is your trusted partner in achieving rapid success in the VMware 2V0-71.23 exam. The 2V0-71.23 exam, known as VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional, is the requirement for obtaining the VMware Certified Professional Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations 2023 VCP-TKO 2023 certification. This exam assesses your abilities in various domains, including the deployment and configuration of Kubernetes clusters, management of containerized workloads, resolution of common issues, and utilization of VMware Tanzu products and technologies for Kubernetes environment management. Two paths to achieve the VMware VCP-TKO 2023 certification. Path 1. If you do not possess any VCP certifications, it is recommended to gain experience with VMware Tanzu and attend one of the training courses. Finally, successfully pass the VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional 2V0-71.23 exam. Path 2. If you hold a VCP in any track with a 2020 version or newer, it is recommended to gain experience with VMware Tanzu and attend one of the training courses. Finally, successfully pass the VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional 2V0-71.23 exam. You have the option to select the most recent VMware 2V0-71.23 exam questions from QuestionsTube in two convenient formats. Recognizing the diverse preferences of test takers, we proudly offer two distinct versions of authentic VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional 2V0-71.23 exam questions. Whether you prefer immersing yourself in the PDF file containing VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes Operations Professional 2V0-71.23 questions or choosing self-assessment through software, QuestionsTube provides tailored options to meet your needs. Each format of our legitimate VMware 2V0-71.23 exam questions has unique benefits, ensuring effective preparation for the VMware VCP-TKO 2023 2V0-71.23 exam based on your individual learning style. Would you like to evaluate the quality of the VMware 2V0-71.23 exam questions? We provide free demo questions that you can access online to review and assess. 1. What two steps are required to visualize API connectivity and enable API protection in VMware Tanzu Service Mesh? Choose 2. A. Activate API discovery for the global namespace. B. Create API security policy for the global namespace. C. Enable threat detection policy for the global namespace. D. Set a distributed firewall policy for the global namespace. E. Create an auto-scaling policy for API for the global namespace. Answer. A. B. 2. Which two package management tools can be used to configure and install applications on Kubernetes? Choose 2. A. Grafana, B. FluentBit, C. Carvel, D. Helm, E. Multis. Answer: C, D. 3. What is the function of Valera? A. Backup and restore Kubernetes clusters, B. Monitor cluster services, C. Publish DNS records for applications to DNS servers, D. Collect data and logs from different sources, unify them, and send them to multiple destinations. Answer: A. 4. Where can an administrator register the vSphere management cluster in VMware Tanzu Mission Control? A. In the VMware Tanzu Mission Control Web Console or CLI, B. In the vSphere management cluster with JKubeCL, C. In the vSphere client. Workload cluster settings, D. In the vSphere namespace with JKubeCL. Answer: A. 5. Which two statements describe Kubernetes observability characteristics? Choose 2. A. It provides network insight and detailed Kubernetes network topology view. B. Provides visibility into Kubernetes clusters for troubleshooting and impact assessment. C. It observes the code of the applications running in Kubernetes environment. D. Collects real-time metrics from all layers of Kubernetes. E. Automatically heals Kubernetes workloads after an issue has been observed. Answer: B, D. 6. Which component must be installed upfront to deploy VMware Tanzu Kubernetes Grid Management Cluster? A. Tanzu CLI, B. Cluster API, C. Kubeadm, D. External DNS. Answer: A. 7. What statement describes the role of VMware ARIA operations for applications, formerly VMware Tanzu Observability, in VMware Tanzu for Kubernetes operations? A. Watches defined infrastructure systems to keep track of health of resources. B. Automates the remediation of Kubernetes platform resources based on collected data. C. Tracks metrics, logs, and alerts based on specified thresholds. D. Collects and analyzes traces, metrics, and logs to provide single source of truth for actionable insights. Answer: D. 8. Which two Kubernetes service types are fulfilled natively by Kubernetes without requiring external integrations? Choose 2. A. External name, B. Ingress, C. Load balancer, D. Node port, E. Cluster IP. Answer: D, E. 9. Which two resources can external DNS create records for? Choose 2. A. Virtual machines, B. Kubernetes pods, C. Kubernetes services, D. Kubernetes nodes, E. Contour HTTP proxy. Answer: C, E. 10. Which kinds of objects does the Kubernetes RBAC API declare? A. Cloud policy object, B. Role, cluster role, role binding and cluster role binding, C. Container type and container object, D. Cluster object and cluster node. Answer: B.